Good morning, General Chat. Today is Friday, March 13th. Welcome back to the Corey Glick Discord server. Today we are doing another audio-only podcast, but this time I'm not alone. This time I have two very special guests who I would like to introduce to you. I will let them introduce themselves and explain to you exactly why they're on the Good Morning General Chat podcast today. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the Discord. Can you guys please introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about Make Life, Skate Life and what you guys are accomplishing and doing and dreaming to do with your project, organization?
I think organization is accurate. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my name is Arne. I'm originally from Germany, but I'm living in Belgium. And I've been a skateboarder since probably more than 25 years now. And I'm the founder of Make Life, Skate Life, which is an organization that is creating skate parks, doing skate park projects. And I think we will get to the bottom of that during this podcast. Samantha, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Samantha, and I am American, and I live most of the time in California, but I can also be found gallivanting around the world, trying to find the next destination for one of our organization's projects. And so we work with, up-and-coming skate communities, or like smaller skate communities. Actually, sometimes they're quite large, but in places where it's very unlikely that their government is going to build them a skate park, and a public skate park in particular. And so our mission is to provide these communities with international standard, really high quality concrete skate parks.
Great. And you said you live in California, correct?
No, yeah, in Santa Cruz.
Okay, and are you a skateboarder as well?
Actually, I try to avoid it at all costs. No, I do. I surf.
You're a surfer, okay.
But I am a skateboarding brethren of sorts.
Got you.
And as a surfer, I've always had a lot of connections to the skateboarding community.
Well, yeah, and being from California, I mean, it's really ingrained in the culture. I'm assuming Southern California?
Well, no, actually, it's just south of San Francisco, but I grew up on the East Coast, originally from the DC area, and then I lived abroad for about 12 years, working in humanitarian aid in like a lot of different contexts, which is how I got hooked up with Make Life, Skate Life. I was working in the north of Jordan in a Syrian refugee camp. And they were building a skate park in Amman, in the capital of Jordan. And one of the guys I was working with, who's a really good friend, is also a skateboarder. And he clocked into the skateboarders in Amman. And then I found them, and I noticed that they could really use some help on their organizational front.
So that was a group of skateboarders. You were doing humanitarian aid in Syria, in Amman, is that correct?
In Jordan, in the north of Jordan, on the border with Syria.
Okay.
But it was a Syrian refugee camp because it was 2014 when the civil war was pretty serious, and so there was probably like 100,000, it was 140,000 people in one refugee camp that we were working in.
Okay, and while you were there, you just randomly met this group of skaters who happened to be in Jordan also building a DIY skate park.
Yeah, it was pretty DIY.
It was very DIY.
Yeah.
12 years ago. Yeah.
12 years ago.
Is that skate park still standing? Can we find it on a map if someone's interested?
I mean, it's
called Seven Hills.
Seven Hills Skate Park in Jordan.
Amman, Jordan, yes.
Amman, Jordan.
In the center of Amman, yeah.
And Arno, who else was on?
Still there, and it's definitely like really DIY.
Okay.
And it's
who was on that build with you guys? Do you remember any of the people?
Actually, a lot of Belgians and Danish.
A lot of Danish.
From Denmark. So
Danish and Belgians.
Like Ben Daleman and his crew. Like I don't know if you're familiar with him. You're partly living in Brussels, so yeah, like those guys.
Yeah.
And
Ben, who does Jean-Jacques Distribution.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Great.
Mikkel, who's like his homie. And we had some guys from Christiania, from Copenhagen, who we worked with a lot during that time. Yeah, Albert and those guys. And then we had some like English guys and a Czech guy. So it was a happy mix of humans who wanted to make that happen. So
cool. Like thank you, Sam. Sam, if you guys look in your chat,
there and it's really, it's like one of the it's pretty poor quality, but it served its purpose. It's still there and people still skate it and they're still ripping it.
The tree is beautiful. I love the tree inside.
Yeah, the tree is like integrated into the park. It's in a very kind of a hip neighborhood as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of it's very lively neighborhood, and it's also there's a lot of refugee populations. So since that skate park was built, the local guys got organized and offered classes.
They still do.
They still do, yeah, with refugees, and this has been going on, for the past 12 years. Mm-hmm. So it has created, the kids that we were building with, literally kids, it helped us building. They have,
adults.
Yeah, they're now adults, and that skate park has changed their lives.
And can I interrupt? Let me just interrupt for one second, because when you say building, a lot of the people that listen to the podcast have never actually built skate parks. You're talking about they're buying the concrete bags, they're pouring the concrete, they're mixing the concrete by hand, they're doing it all themselves. You guys sometimes you get access to machinery on some of these builds, but on Seven Hills, was there machinery access?
It was
there it is.
Yeah, there was some machinery access, but it was poorly organized. So that we have to admit, it was in the early ages and of our organization building skate parks. So we did have trucks of concrete coming in, but they weren't equipped in the way that they were supposed to be equipped. So they were just going on the top of that hill where the skate park was located and dumped it because there was no other access to the site. Just dumped it down and we're just carrying it in wheelbarrows to where it was supposed to go. So it was it was a shit show, I would say.
Oh, I would say most of the early builds were shit shows. I would say that, but one thing that I will, we can pat ourselves on the back for it is we said, this is a shit show, we can do better. And then the next build, I would say every build got progressively a little more organized and a little bit better. And now, I don't want to say it's a well-oiled machine because it's still kind of a shit show, but it's, the end results are certainly a lot more professional. And the system, I don't think we're breaking backs the way that we used to. So that's...
Well, you're inherently working under probably some of the most difficult conditions on planet Earth as far as government infrastructure and access and funding, I would imagine.
Yeah. And depending on where you are, you have for example, the Middle East, a lot of places in Iraq, we've built in different parts of Iraq and
I'm sorry, can you pronounce Iraq is as Americans we call it Iraq, right?
Yeah. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Yes, when we were building in Iraq, there's a lot more concrete available. There's a really big concrete distribution company called Lafarge, which is controversial in some circles. They're not the most ethical, but you're going to get a lot of concrete. It's a lot more readily available than say we built on a remote island in the Philippines and concrete.
When did you guys build the park in Iraq? How do you pronounce it properly?
I don't know if I'm even, but it's Iraq. The ending word is kind of and then the first is Iraq. Yeah.
When did you build that park? And you said that park so Iraq has considerably better infrastructure than some of your other areas.
Definitely. And especially from a concrete perspective, how often are things built with concrete in that part of the world? A lot. So we did our first skate park. It was 2017 or 2018.
2018.
Yeah. Sulaymaniyah, which is in the north in the Kurdish region. So the Kurds have their semi-autonomous area in the north of Iraq. And so we had worked there for a couple of years and developed a project with a very, very small group of skateboarders, which has now grown quite a bit. And then we followed that by building in the capital in Baghdad. And then after Baghdad, we went on to build like a pretty small park inside a refugee camp, a Syrian refugee camp in the Kurdish region. So yeah.
I have one more question for Arno. Yeah. Arno, so was the Jordan, that's when you guys met in Jordan, but where had you been building parks prior to that? What was the first international skate park build you were a part of?
The first one was in India. So that was maybe known like to skateboarders because we worked together with Levi's. So they used like our projects to launch their skateboarding collection. So that was a skate park that was built in Bangalore in the south of India with the skateboarding group that's called Holy Stoked.
Holy Stoked.
And that was the first one, and it was built in 2013.
So you started working in 2013. Samantha came on in 2017. When was Make Life?
Yeah, she came in the third project. So the first project was 2013, and then the second project in Bolivia was 2014, and then we had the second project in 2014 in Jordan. So that was the third project. So it was in a very early stage of our organization.
I know I was living in New York at the time, so I have some friends that were down in the Bolivia build, like Milton is a good friend of mine. And Jerry Mraz was down there as well. Was Pat Smith there also?
Was also there, yeah. Pat was in Bolivia.
Okay. So do you mind just listing off to everybody the projects you've completed? Just so they can get a real grand sense of like how vast, how many communities you guys have brought skateboarding to.
Yeah, for sure. India 2013, Bolivia 2014, Jordan 2014, and then it was
Nepal.
No, after Jordan was Ethiopia.
Oh, Ethiopia, yeah.
2000. There was something 2015 Myanmar. 2015 Myanmar, 2016 Ethiopia. 2017 Nepal, 2018 Morocco, and Iraq. 2017 Morocco, and then Iraq. Yeah.
Morocco, then Iraq, the first Iraq build. Yeah.
And then after Iraq, it was Brazil in a favela, and it was
where in Brazil?
In a favela in Rio de Janeiro.
In Rio, okay, cool.
One of the most dangerous places we've been to. And then we were in Beirut in Lebanon, and then it was in Libya, in Tripoli in Libya, 2022, 23. We were in for sure Canada before that, 22 still, yeah. Mm-hmm. With the Inuit community in the north of Canada.
Like the indigenous populations in the far north.
Yeah. Like Yellowknife territory?
No, it's Inukjuak, it's called Inukjuak.
Inukjuak. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then in Laos, in Tunisia, in the Philippines, in Baghdad, also Iraq, and now we came back from Uganda.
You just finished the one in Uganda. I saw that.
Like a month ago, something like that. Yeah.
I saw you guys had some pros had even started that were down there, right? Some Madras.
Yeah, we had Sean Hale, we had Marders Abs, we had Nassim Nashab who was out there. Yeah.
You guys even had a famous skateboard YouTuber, Jay Films, showed up.
We had Jay. Yeah, Jay's now.
It's rough right now. They're skateboarding across Africa.
Yeah. Jay's a very polarizing figure on the in the world of internet skateboarding. So.
Is he?
We have no idea. We just know him from like just meeting him.
I'm a big fan of his content, but he's got a lot of people questioning. How can you skate across Africa if you don't start at one side of it?
Oh, because he's skating through Africa, like down.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, so, a lot of semantics. You know how people are online.
Yeah.
And we also had another maybe polarizing person on the bill with Mike.
Oh, Skate Nomad?
Yeah, the Skate Nomad.
Oh, Skate Nomad. Yeah. I think I've heard some funny things about that. Yeah, the internet's an interesting place.
We were also skating at Place Maurice at one point. So
there we go. There. Shout out Place Maurice. But Jay, I just saw. I'm trying to keep up with what Jay's doing. But luckily he's still safe.
He's like 30 days in, 33 days in. He's just still out there. And
that's wild. That's wild.
And you gotta respect.
I got nothing but respect for J Films. I know, like I said.
And they were not
like who cares?
We gave them some good tips, like, did you think about that? Did you think about that? Like, they didn't even think about some shit that you would have expected.
That's
malaria.
That's why
like going to Africa and skating, that's such a long distance.
That's what I do love about him. I did a pitch for a reality show one time when I was a teenage, in my young 20s, and it was the idea was to we'll get a boat and sail across the world, and in the pitch was one of us is probably going to die. That was part of the pitch was how unprepared we were. So when I see Jay, I'm like, damn, he's literally doing that thing that I wanted to do, and he's letting us all watch it. So
yeah.
I'm hyped on it. Okay.
I think they're gonna make it, but it's touch and go some days, I think, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't want to be doing it. So, okay. That's a good roundup of what you guys have done. Do you want to tell us about anything that you guys have currently in the future planned?
Yeah, well, we were supposed to be in Beirut, and I was supposed to be leaving in 10 days.
Beirut is in Lebanon, for the listeners who don't know. Currently, there's a there's a war happening. The United States and Israel are kind of engaged in a lot of bombing of Lebanon. So I would imagine getting access to Beirut right now would not be that easy.
No, and actually even the area where the skate park is, when we built the skate park there, it's in an area that's controlled by Hezbollah, which, if you don't know, is a group that's supported by Iran. And so Israel is areas that are more Hezbollah areas are being hit or getting bombed. And so it's so much respect for the skateboarders there, because it's difficult to teach at the skate park right now. And so a lot of them have been going to other places to teach skateboarding that are safe, and going to the kids so that they can continue to teach and continue to skate, since they can't skate at the skate park. And so there's a lot of raw determination. I mean, I think that's pretty beautiful.
Have you guys been to Gaza as well?
I have, but I've been there for other reasons.
Do you know any of the skate community there?
I don't know. I was there. We were doing some mural projects and painting projects there, but street art type stuff. But cool. Yeah, that's also a really inspiring group.
That's when I always think of the footage, I always think of a lot of their footage. I mean, obviously the footage that you guys put out from the stuff you do is always fantastic too. I recommend everybody looking into Make Life Skate Life's social media accounts. It's always nice content that makes you feel good about. If you're ever wondering that skateboarding's boring and there's nothing going on, just realize that there are some people skateboarding in places that you can't even imagine living in sometimes, So they're constantly posting inspiring content for me. So definitely take a look at those Instagram accounts. Okay, so Beirut is on hold, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so we were planning to do, which we were just all so excited about, and there was a really generous donor who had funded this, named Dahlia, and we had organized to have skateboarders that were coming from all the Arab world, or that region, plus the Kurdish. So it was skateboarders from Jordan, Syria, Iraq, Tunisia, Morocco and Libya, and so North Africa and the Middle East.
So sick.
And
everyone coming together and just kind of just already meeting and skating together, and just getting inspired, from because everybody's teaching skateboarding and living off teaching skateboarding, so that's a great opportunity for them to be there and to spend some time together. Have some, what do we plan? Some thematic workshops and
yeah, definitely. And to talk about, because when you're in a community or a country, even where skateboarding is so small, and it hasn't doesn't have much support or infrastructure around it. So even working to build more skate spots, or being able to get skateboards in your country. Sometimes people can't even buy skateboards because there's no skate shop. So like connecting them, Steve Douglas, who is on our board of directors, who's just an absolute legend of a human being, has really helped with like, if it's possible, if there's like a skate shop, he'll even like help them off their feet by giving them like some seed boards, being like, oh, you're like a newer skate shop trying to get started, and like we'll try to help you out with it, because that's like such a there's so much that goes into a skateboarding community and growing a skate scene that you don't even think about and people take for granted because they just have it. And it's like, oh, well, you have a skate shop, but you don't think about like, how does that even start? It's like if you were to go back to like 1970 before people were really like integrated in. Before the industry grew.
Yeah, I mean, I keep thinking about Iraq because I remember when you guys were doing some work in Iraq recently, I saw some links, and I always kind of like do a little investigating myself where I look at who you're adding because I kind of want to see like, well, what are the people that are skating they're posting, you know, because you guys are showing the build and showing that process, but I'm like, but like, what are the street spots like? Like, so I remember kind of going through one of your Iraq builds a couple of years ago, and I saw a skate shop in Baghdad, and I saw that they made trucks as well, which I thought was insane because like, I don't know if you are aware of this, Samantha, but like most skateboarders have like, there's a lot of like skateboarding truck loyalty and skateboarding truck obsessive. Okay, so you know, yeah. So when I saw like skateboard trucks made in Iraq, I thought like sounds pretty sick, and I really wanted to find a way to buy a pair, but I think you have to be in Iraq to get them. I don't know, so I'm still looking to. So if anybody wants,
maybe they're distribution.
Yeah.
Still working out.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what Iraq made skateboard trucks feel like and ride like. I would feel like the coolest guy at Plasmo if I was skating some Iraq trucks.
Sure, yeah, I can imagine, yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Well, so that's the... do you guys want to talk about anything else specifically before I get into some questions with you guys?
I don't think I have anything in particular. Yeah, we're right now we're kind of working on our next projects and like kind of figuring out exactly. We obviously, as you would imagine, get like a lot of DMs and like emails and like a variety of things that people being like, we need a skate park. You know, like every little community of skaters in the world thinks that like they need the next skate park. So so about like figuring out the system and like sifting through all the different requests and seeing like what would work. Okay. We've got a few possibilities that we're looking at.
Yeah, and that's also like really cool actually to have that up like possibility to even say like you guys, you really deserve a skate park. You know, Uganda was such an example where we traveled there just after speaking with them over, you know, some emails and them requesting like everyone a skate park, like, yeah, like it would be great to have a skate park, and then actually going there and seeing like how much they're able to do with such little resources, you know, like how proactive they are, like building their own DIYs and
building their own skateboards.
Yeah, building their own skateboards and like just doing with what's available. That's pretty impressive. Dirt. Yeah, skating dirt and yeah, just you know, living in the skate community, that's their family, you know. And then you think, wow, like here actually a skate park would make a huge difference. So it's kind of cool.
You mentioned not just building the local communities, not just building their own spots, but you said their own skateboards. Can you describe like one of these handmade local skateboards you've seen?
Take a plank of wood, and sometimes they would even, you know, like the kind of like the roller suitcases. They would just take those wheels that they would find like in the trash, and they would attach it to the board, like to the plank of wood.
So the wheels from a...
And they would roll down on that on a dirt hill, and that's to them is like the best, you know, that's skateboarding. Like, this is sick.
That's crazy. Yeah, so no Swiss bearings.
Like I you know, I'm traveling a lot, and I also like to skate, and I have my own skateboard, and I don't, you know, usually don't like, I like my own skateboard because I have my trucks, like I ride them for like 5 years or something, you know, and I'm getting used to them.
Truck loyalty.
So, you know, when I traveled to Uganda, I was like, yeah, I kind of want to skate there as well. Just, you know, like skate, everybody knows like the internet famous like skate park with the mini mega ramp, like skateboard, Uganda Skateboard Society. that's all sick. You know, like I want to be able like just to see like how that skates.
Wait,
So I brought my board.
my
board, and then
I one question about the Uganda skates. What's the name of like one of your favorite Ugandan skater that you skated with?
One of the favorite, I think it's Brian. Like Brian is killing it, or even Mozart. Mozart is fucking sick. Yeah.
So
just the style too. I think it's like they just have such an incredible like nonchalance around like the way that they skate. It's like so much swagger.
Yeah.
And so
Brian is swag. He blunt slides rails without a blink, and they're so humble. They're so cool. Like we hung out with them, you know, for weeks, and they're the most humble person. Like,
so humble.
Yeah. They come from nothing. Like
right.
they don't have families either. Like they are like Gosa took them in. Like
a lot of the kids there, like they some of them had been living on the streets, and like they don't have they come like you said, they just come from nothing, but they have skateboarding, and then they like find this family in skateboarding. And I would just really encourage you, if you have not looked into any of like the skateboarding accounts in Uganda, like it's incredible, just like the talent, and then also just like the skill. It's amazing.
And especially seeing the park as well. It's so tiny. Like it's the smallest park.
Spots that they build.
The one with the Uganda Skateboard Society. It's so small. It's impossible to skate that thing. And also like the DIY in Kitezi, like where we built the park. It's impossible to skate it. Like you have to be so skilled to skate it. Like I broke my back on it just dropping in. It was like, what is this? Like I can't skate it.
Yeah.
They're incredible, and they just get like a tremendous amount of air too. Like someone just said, big airs. Yeah, like it's incredible.
Yeah.
The ups.
Yeah, I love.
Maybe just also to finish that story, like with bringing my own board. You know, I wanted to bring it back, but it's impossible. You can't bring your board back.
You can't justify it.
You can't justify it. Like it's you just feel like you just see them skating the shittiest DIY skate park. You know, having such a blast, and they're sharing one board between 5 people, and they're like, that's just how they skate, you know? So I'm like, what am I, like, I can't leave my board here.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win. You get to, donate your board to Brian or Mozart or one of their homies or homegirls, and then you get to come back to Belgium and stimulate the local economy.
Great, and I have to accustom to like new trucks. Perfect, thanks though.
This brings me to another question. I think you and I had a talk about it, and you were saying how because you've been building skate parks for how many years now?
You were since 2013. I started in like 2014.
Okay. 13 years. Yeah.
But and Arno, you've been physically doing the labor for longer than that? Like, were you building when you were younger?
I'm not a skate park builder, so it's not my profession.
Gotcha.
So we were like, I'm really more like for the first ones on the organizing side. Like I made the connections, so we got the funding. Put all the team together to fly out, get the team out there that's able to do the job and get it done. I was the one like finding or like meeting the skateboarding community on the ground just to make all the connections. I'm still doing that. Yeah.
So how do you organize?
But I enjoy building. Like I get in there, I build with them, and now also like with all the years, like I just know what has to be done, So it's not rocket science. It's still very specific skate park construction, but it's not rocket science. So, it's physical labor and it has to get done.
I agree. As someone who's watched like countless DIYs get built over the years, I skated Burnside when it was one of the only ones in the country. I've skated FDR for over 25 years. I've seen that grow every time I go there. It's different stuff, and I'm not a builder myself, but I do compare. That's what the way I see it is like. I recognize the amount of work and labor, and it's brick by brick, stone by stone, bag by bag, like trip to Home Depot to trip to Home Depot. Like here, we've got the cement.
It's Home Depot.
Yeah, we've got this.
You were like 15 different shops trying to find the right screws, and like they tell you they don't exist, and you're like, oh, cool.
So that's where Well, that's where I'm kind of coming from, because I think a lot of people in the skateboarding community that skate, they're not necessarily builders. It's only a very small percent of like skaters that actually build this stuff, even though almost all the skaters love skating. I mean, yeah, you have those street skater purists who don't want to touch anything that's like, you know, built to be skated, you know, but that's a very niche type of skateboarding. But how do you guys find the people, the manpower? How do you guys find the labor, the people that actually help build the stuff? Where do you find those people?
We've changed a little bit. That's something I wanted to mention is like, so we've kind of like segued into like more professionalism over the years. Like in the earlier days, it was very DIY, and we would have huge groups of people who would show up.
We would basically just announce a place and a date.
And be like, be there, we'll feed you and we'll accommodate you, and we're going to build this skate park.
And we didn't even know like who was going to come.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, and then and then you just have to like hope that you get enough people or that you don't get too many people. And we did that for years. And it was cool. But I think Morocco was like probably our turning point and that was probably because of its proximity to Europe. But we had like something like 110 builders or people who would come out. They weren't professional builders, but 110 people who came out. And I remember like sitting there one morning when it was like a concrete day, and there's a Belgian guy named Sam who was like a professional skate park builder. Like he is paid to do this is his job. And Sam was like sculpting a concrete camel, because there were so many people there that like the professional skate park builders weren't even needed, because you just had like too many. And so we were accommodating, I think we had like 3 half-finished houses, and we used to just get like unfinished, like terrible houses, basically a roof and walls and a toilet. And like everybody would just bring a sleeping mat, and it was an experience. It was a time to be alive.
Yeah, people were coming like while they were watching it on social media, you know, and we were speaking about Tagazout skate park. So that was just this collaboration of like just so many individuals.
It was insane.
It was crazy. Yeah. And it's crazy to now, like, again, like meet people that tell me, I was part of Tagazout skate park. I was like, I don't know you. Like, I have no idea you were there. Like,
because it was 120 people around, like.
And just coming out, and then we had to tell people like, no, you can't stay with us anymore. Like, people have just kept on coming. We're like, shit, like this is too much.
Yeah. So after like that experience, and also like when you're feeding and accommodating that many people, it can get kind of wild. Like it's like a lot of money that gets spent on that, and then it's just too much. Yeah. So and a lot of the people who showed up weren't actually building that much because there were too many people, and it just turns into a big party. Everyone's just like getting drunk and smoking hash. And you're like, I think we're trying to build a skate park over here. Mm-hmm. So after that experience, after Tagazout, when it was just like so much chaos, we were like, okay, we got to do it a little different. And so from there, we started moving into more like finding professional skate park builders and inviting them and not making it open invitation. And so that was kind of a model that we moved into. And nowadays, we strictly work with professional skate park builders. It's like, do you have 2 years of experience or more working professionally with concrete? And also even just like the style of building that we do, like we try to get ready mix concrete whenever possible. We use aerial, like the boom pumps, so that we don't have to wheelbarrow as much. And so I think that skate park building has evolved over the last like 15 years, even, like the way, like as it kind of like moved off of the fringe, like skateboarding as a whole, and it became an Olympic sport, like, and that's a very controversial topic. But as you moved into this like different era of skateboarding, skate parks, it's a lot like the graffiti writers who used to like get arrested for like graffiti, and now they get commissioned by cities to do murals and street art. Like the boys who used to be like building, or girls for like doing their like late night illicit like pours and like making the little concrete around the city, are now being paid by the city to build skate parks.
Yeah.
And so I think as there has been this transition in the skateboarding world, so have the techniques changed. Mm-hmm. And like it's become a lot more professional. And so we have tried to like professionalize and like give these communities that we're building in like also some like really high quality skate parks that are going to last. And I think like if I look at the skate parks we built like in Ethiopia, versus like the skate park we just built in Uganda. It's like night and day in terms of the longevity of that park too, just because like the foundations, we understand like foundational work a lot better, and like reinforcements and retaining walls, and like the type of soil that you're building on, and like do you need to put a bunch of backfill in there, and there's like so much that goes into it that we didn't used to
even take into consideration.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the whole world is getting more efficient. So, of course, Make Life, Skate Life should also be getting more efficient as well. I mean, not in all senses of the world getting more efficient, because sometimes, like you said, what's happening in the Middle East is a little bit frustrating, and to say the least. Cool. So, basically, but you're bringing up a good point. And this what I kind of wanted to touch on as well with like the anybody listening to this as well is that like skateboard, you know, there's all these different career paths within skateboarding. It's not just about being a sponsored skater. It's not just about working at a skate shop. Like, you know, you guys have careers within skateboarding, and then like the builders have careers within skateboarding. And again, like I'm old enough to know the first skate parks that were commissioned and built by cities and towns in America, in the United States. They weren't really built by skaters. They were always kind of built by a carpenter and like a carpenter team, or like a construction crew that like that did concrete for like stairs and driveways and things like this. Whereas nowadays, most skate park building companies are kind of all run by skaters, and most of the guys either used to skate, or, you know, maybe they can't skate as much anymore because they're getting older and they're busy, like, you know, spraying concrete and building skate parks all day. So skating is a little bit less either. But I feel like that's a career path that a lot of skaters don't realize, is that they can reach out to their local whatever skate company is building skate parks within their community, because every town seems to want a skate park, right? Whether it's Belgium, whether it's the USA. So a lot of these skateboarding building companies, they're booked up for like 3 years solid, right?
And so are their builders. And so sometimes that's a challenge of like, you have to be strategic about when you're going to build so that you can pull from the biggest pool of builders. So like oftentimes like the Northern Hemisphere's winter is a good time to build, because you'll have there will be less jobs that they can do, especially in like Canada, where it's a lot more challenging because of the freeze in the ground. And so you're able to pull from a bigger group and have more options available on builders. But we usually like just let everyone know. We say like, hey, we like send emails out to the guys that we've worked with. And also like, it's not for everyone. Like you have to have a certain personality type that you're willing to go to a place where, it's going to be frustrating sometimes. And like, you're not going to get all the materials that you're used to. And like, maybe your concrete situation is going to be difficult, and it's going to be really hot, or maybe it's going to be really cold. And, it's going to be physically very challenging. I mean, of course, building skate parks is physically challenging regardless, but like we're putting people in extreme conditions, and we're under a tight deadline because we have to bash it out in a certain amount of time, because we're paying for like accommodations and everybody's there, and we can't be there forever. And so that can oftentimes be, the like defined moment is like, is this your style? Because it's not for everybody. And like, not all skateboarders, like you said, are skate park builders, and it's okay if you're not. But like, let's be honest and realistic about what we're doing. And like, if you are down, cool. But like, if not, then like, let's not waste each other's time.
Okay. I'm glad you brought up time, because I'm running out of it. But I do want to end with a couple questions from the audience, if anybody has audience. But let me start with a question for you guys from me. If you, Samantha, and if you guys could, each of you guys give some advice to the 17-year-old you, what advice would you give to 17-year-old you coming from, you know, today you, with all of your life experience and all of the regrets that you may have in your life, and all of the, you know, joys that you have had in your life? What advice would you give to 15-year-old you?
It's a big question. Do you know, Arna? Are you feeling?
I don't know. I started skateboarding like quite late, so when I was 17. So, I mean, okay. I think I followed my advice and kept on skating. I think that's probably it's a good advice, but I didn't know I kind of knew already at the time, because I thought it was so nice, and it really like kind of was the thing that I was looking for as a teenager, you know. yeah, so I'm not sure like what advice I would give myself apart from just keep on skating, like even though it's not necessarily like it wasn't really like socially accepted, or you know
That's great
at the
advice.
time, or even like as you say, like there's so many jobs in skateboarding, potential jobs. And I also like it's actually pretty crazy to think that I'm working in skateboarding.
Well, keep skateboarding is great advice. I wish I listened
Yeah.
to that advice in my early 20s when I kind of stopped skating for 4 or 5 years. So,
Yeah, no, I just have to remind myself, like, yeah, like don't give up, like just go out there, like as much as you can,
yeah.
because it's like you have less, just for myself, like now, like telling myself now, if tomorrow it's good weather, I have to go outside and skate, because sometimes you're busy, and like life has changed, so you have other priorities. So that's my advice for myself for tomorrow,
That's great
Go out
advice.
skate. Yeah.
Did anything come to you, Samantha?
I don't know. I think that I worked a lot when I was in my like late teens, early 20s. I was like grinding a lot, like really hard, like work wise. And I think maybe I would have told myself to like have a little more fun and make sure that like you enjoy life and like go out and do the fun things, not just like not just the things with a purpose, or like with you're trying to achieve an end result. It's like maybe it's fun to just like get out there and enjoy yourself. So
Cool. Now I'm gonna let the audience members, if anybody has a question, you're invited up to the stage to ask it. We've got Commander Winged. Do you have a question, Winged? No? Critical Skate Theory? Sammy Baked? Any of you guys have a question?
Hey, I was muted. Hello, Arnold and Samantha. I want to say, y'all are some beautiful people. I love what y'all are doing out here for the world of skateboarding. You see, I am a black man, and I just appreciate you, just supporting black kids in the black communities, in the African communities for like, skateboarding. Because a lot of black people know really about skateboarding. They kind of view it as a white person thing to skateboard, So you introducing that to people who probably can never afford a skateboard, who never probably have the opportunity to skateboard or even know what it is really nice. So I appreciate that you doing it for the black community. I really do. That's a beautiful thing.
thank you so much. We think it's so important. And I think that like particularly like African or African American, whatever, representation is so important. And like there's so underrepresented in the skateboarding world, but they are so talented, and it's just like lack of infrastructure and lack of access to gear. And so like we can get skate parks out there and skateboards out there, like they're going to be dominating the global scene because just the style and the athleticism, and like it's second to none. And so in my opinion, that's like the future.
Wow. Hey, I love what y'all doing. We only got a few black skateboarders. We got Naja Houston, Beatrice, Samaria Boulevard. Who else do we have?
Don't try to list everyone.
We don't have Deshaun Jordan. Who else you said?
New cover of Thrasher magazine. Shout out to Antoine Dixon. Congratulations, Antoine Dixon.
Antoine Dixon too.
Antoine back on the cover of Thrasher magazine, everybody. All right.
That's great.
Dante.
Good work. Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Winged.
Thank you.
Anybody else with another question? Winged is one of our favorite Discord members. He's always comes through with the positive energy. Anybody else? Okay, we got Critical Skate Theory.
So my question's just, so what's your thoughts on the way that the designs of skateboarding parks are headed? Because there's like,
Good question.
on the West Coast, I feel like there's like a lot of this sort of street league competition style design, which isn't what you're looking for if you're trying to make something accessible to people learning and stuff like that. So when you're going to more remote areas and people who don't have access to, all these other parks to sort of build up and all this media that's showing them this is what's possible on a skateboard, how do you sort of design around that? Also, I'd like to thank you from the Black community as well.
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, regarding the designs, I think you already mentioned it, Samantha, like these kind of expectations that come with or the controversy that comes with Olympic skate parks. And that's kind of also like shining on the whole like the expectations of like what a skate park should look like. We're really fighting against that. Like, we don't want to build like Olympic standard skate parks because we don't believe in them. We really believe in skate parks that have a lot of like wide and open space, like a lot of flat, and just really like simple obstacles that aren't too high and that really allow you to progress, but also to be really comfortable as a beginner, you know?
But also we build to the community that we are building in. So like before, when we do our, like, we call it like the research mission or like the recce trip, we will do like surveys. Actually, like we hand out surveys and have the kids fill them out, and they have like pictures, and it kind of describes different types of skateboarding and say like, do you want transition, do you want street, are you interested in like like these types of obstacles? And then based on the responses, and also just like looking at how the kids skate, like what they're used to, you can kind of design the park around that. And like for the last park that we built, like there were some pretty big ramps respectively, but it's because they could skate it, like they skate transition.
It really has to be adapted to the community. But I for sure get, like, I also understand the frustration of having these like kind of Olympic standard skate parks, and they're just not fun, you know, like
they're kind of soulless.
Yeah, if they're like big and then a few people can skate it, it's like a big ass bowl. Like it's sick when you can skate it, but you know, it's not for everyone. And we're really building like public skate parks, so it should be accessible and should be accessible for everyone. So there should be a little bit for everyone. So I think that's the most important part. And as you say, like it should be adapted to the community and what's actually needed, because it's not going to be us skating it. It's not like, oh, I love this like vert extension somewhere in a skate park, but then if nobody's able to skate it, like who are we to say like what communities need? So this really like consulting the community and just understanding like what's actually needed. That's really important.
Yeah, because there's also sometimes this attitude that like build it and they will learn. And I think that like there has been some epic failures in that theory, and that like I know that there was a park in Jamaica that was built that has like some really big ramps, and like the medical care system's really not great there in this particular community, and like a bunch of kids injured themselves, and the parents then like don't want their kids to skate because then they're injuring themselves and they're not able to get like proper medical care, and it can be really problematic. So like if you are working in a community where you know that there aren't particularly, like Uganda was an exception because they already skate really well and they're used to skating transition, and so it's like, yeah, sure, build some big ramps, like go nuts. But if this is like a community that doesn't skate much, you want to make sure that there is a beginner section and that there is an area where like kids can learn and that it is accessible, rather than just throwing them into the deep end and like, cool, break your arm a few times, good luck with that. Where it's like more like if you can start them out and like work them up to like bigger obstacles. It's just like more respectful of the community as well, and like meeting them where they're at. Just someone had said like, where can you donate to provide the boards? I think something that's really cool is like reach out to the communities that you want, like that you like, and say like, hey, can I send you some equipment? I think like that's the coolest way to do it. Like we obviously have connections with these communities and like we can help facilitate that, but I think that like something we're really particular about as an organization is like, we're not trying to be like the middleman, and we're not trying to create this kind of like enterprise of like or like a franchise of like our organization in like different countries. Like I think each country and each group should have their own brand and their own activities and their own identity, and like we don't want to make like a Make Life Skate Life Nepal and a Make Life Skate Life Morocco and a Make Life Skate Life Bolivia. It's like we want them to have their own thing, and we're just here to like build them a skate park, and we support them however we can and like send them gear and things, but we really want them to have their own identity. And so part of that is like if they want to do fundraisers, or they want to try to like raise money or to like get gear, it's like, yeah, go directly to them, give them the money, give them the gear, like don't go through us. You know, like that's something that we really try, like out of respect for the people we're working with.
That's great advice. I mean, especially with
I think that it's like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Critical. Mom, you got it.
No, I think it's like interesting to say, like, to see how Uganda is one of the exceptions to that, where you say like, oh, build a.
technical difficulties.
Get that. And they would say like, well, this, like, how do these people skate this? Like, even like most people who know how to skate, who are experienced skateboarders, would have trouble at that park. And you see like how good these people have gotten in the conditions that they have, especially considering like limited access to boards and stuff like that. So it's kind of crazy how like it works in some cases and it doesn't work in different cases. And I guess I'm just curious, like as skateboarding picks up, which like in Uganda it has exponentially grown from that sort of starting park. How do, because they don't have skate shops out there. They're reliant on like donations of boards and stuff like that. How do you think like infrastructure will change over time as it becomes more popular, and maybe it's not as feasible to be reliant on like occasional shipments from generous organizations and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's super challenging, and it's like something that we touched on with like Beirut is like building up skate shops, and like in order for people to have access to gear there has to be the skate shops. But something that you encounter, which is really difficult to overcome, is in a country like Uganda, is like the income for like the majority of the country so low that the price point of a skateboard is cost prohibitive. Like there's no way for a skateboarder to gain access to skateboarding, because like we think of skateboarding as a really accessible sport. It's not like snowboarding where you have to like buy a lift ticket and like get all this gear and all these, like it's an accessible sport. But for a kid in Uganda, it's not. And so with this idea that like, oh, we'll build skate shops, but those skate shops need a market, which is going to buy skateboards so that they can have more. And like when you have such an impoverished country, it's like hard to develop those markets to the point that like a skate shop can be sustained locally. And I mean, there are of course wealthy people in Uganda, but there's barely a middle class. And so, and when a lot of the people who do skateboard are from lower income communities, like a low income community, is going to really struggle to support a skate shop. And so I think that like that is where the international skateboarding community really comes in and like help a homie out, send a package, and like you can send packages and they can be received, and like, yeah, you have to pay duties. Sometimes you have to pay taxes on them, and like sometimes they can't even pay the taxes to get the skateboards out. But we find ways to do it, and or go to Uganda and like go hang out and like bring a suitcase full of boards for them, things like that.
That's my favorite way to do it.
And the last sort of question, I missed like a bit, so I don't want to, make you repeat anything, but have there been any like name brands, like board companies or something like that have been specifically supportive?
Loads, yeah. Element has been really supportive in like donating gear. NHS Skate Direct has been massive. They're so generous. High quality.
Yeah, like Santa Cruz boards,
independent trucks,
and
Mob Grip tape. Like they really hook us up.
Bronson bearings, like they hook us up. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
By Critical Skate Theory. We have a question from one of our the children of the Discord. They're under the age of 18, so they're not allowed to speak in here, and I think they're probably in class. But this child of the Discord is asking, are you guys familiar with Perry Park in Tempe, Arizona?
Yes, I am.
No.
Okay, don't worry about it then. Perry Park is not as important of a skate park as you think, Elect Jolt. I know you love it. I know it's your dream. But one day, Elect Jolt, stay in school. Maybe a graduation present.
We're just looking it up. It looks sick though.
It does.
It looks good.
Okay. So let me see what Elect Jolt, do you want to type your question again? Because now they're pulling it up, so they're familiar with Perry Park now. What was the question you have about Perry Park specifically? Perry Park is very famous in the skate community now because do you know about Slow Impact?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Slow Impact takes place in Tempe, Arizona, and Perry Park is kind of like the favorite part.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Okay, so Elect Jolt asks, are there any specific ways you guys maximize budget when building skate parks for these communities? So he's wondering about what corners you're able to cut, what decisions you have to make to maximize the budget, like building something similar to Perry.
we don't pay people. So that's
free labor.
It's probably your biggest budget saver is that all of the builders do the thing that they normally get paid for, a lot of money for free, just to like, give it back to the skate community.
And they do it voluntarily because they also they get to go, like we send them to Uganda. Yeah. They get to spend time with the skateboarding community, and they get to experience something completely different. So it's really a life-changing experience for most of the skate park builders that participate in projects. It's also not the hardest thing to find people that volunteer their time to spend in a foreign place to build a skate park.
And we cover like accommodation and flights for them so that like they're not out of pocket, because you also like you have an apartment maybe or a mortgage and you have to pay rent and you have to pay for like all your things back home, and then you're not working for that time and we're taking you to another country and you're working for free for this period of time. So like we cover a couple of things, but ultimately that is a huge cost saver, is like not having to pay salaries for builders. Yeah.
Well,
or even like the project managers and stuff like that.
Well, I think of you guys as Make Life Skate Life as you don't just provide a skate park, you don't just provide skate park builders, you guys literally provide an experience for everybody involved, which is...
Yeah, and the question of funding popped up in the chat. That's really like a big mix of like private donors.
Smorgasbord.
Yeah, like really like some foundations support us.
Private donors.
And businesses, also related to skateboarding. So we have like some sponsors that have been supporting us for, many, many years. Mm-hmm. But then also, like non-endemic brands are getting more familiar with skateboarding. So we're trying to also, get into that. And yeah.
Even like some like companies you wouldn't, like a Decathlon, that's like a French outdoor or like sporting goods company. Yeah. They've supported a couple projects.
Yeah. And we also have like public funding, like from embassies. The American embassy has also, co-funded our skate park project in Libya. And the French embassy and German embassy. So it's a big mix. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what we're here for. Like we're putting together, like we're getting that funding, identifying communities in need and making that happen.
Yeah, and we are 501c3. So if anyone wants to make a donation, it's tax deductible in the U.S. and then we're registered
which is super important
for as well.
Yeah, which is super important for foundations. Like they have like big like tax write-offs and also, I mean, you kind of stay relevant by just putting out content on social media and having a website. That's already like as much as you need for people to kind of like understand like that we're out there doing the thing that we do. And sometimes we do like project specific fundraisers. For Uganda, for example, we fundraised recently like close to $20,000 the electronic arts, like the skate game, you had the possibility of selecting our deck in the game, and people could donate to our organization. So it's also like kind of staying relevant and like stay on the radar of whenever some opportunities like this come up.
Like on the comment to the topic of social media, I think that like there's always this fine line of like making sure that you put out content so people know what you're doing, because we don't want to just be like, if you can do all the work in the world, but if no one knows about it, sometimes that's you don't get a return on the investment in the same way. And so we make sure that we try to like keep people up to date with what we're doing, but we really also don't want to spend our lives on social media or like spend a lot of time or just like inundate or like flood people with all the things that we're doing when I'd be like, look at us. And so we try to like create some sort of, I don't know if we're that good about our balance,
but social media is great because people donate and then they really immediately, like a week after they donated, they see that
their money was put to use.
Yeah, like we're building a skate park and we're making it happen for the community already.
Well, and that, not to bring it back to the Uganda park again, but since it's your last build, I will. I think that's a great example that everyone can agree. The Uganda Skate Association, is that correct? Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've done
that's one
Uganda Skateboard Society.
That's what they're called. That's one organization that's done a great job with social media, right? I mean, like
incredible.
Yeah.
But there's so many, and we had to like. The other thing is just like when you go into a skateboarding community or like a world, is like there's often lots of different crews and there can be tensions between the groups. And when you go in there and you're building a skate park, like you're introducing a resource. And so you have to be so careful that you're not creating divisions within the group, because it's like, oh, we're giving these guys a skate park, but not you. And so, or like this little community is getting one. And so when we went in, and in the past that has created some conflict or it's been difficult. And so to navigate that, what we did this time was we really got all of the skate crews together on our research trip, and we had a meeting with all of them. We're like, hey, like we really want to support you guys, and like we are here to support the whole community. We're building the skate park here, but like they all came out for the build, and everyone worked together to build the park. Like Uganda Skateboarding Society, Kampala Skateboarding Initiative, Climate Skaters, Skate and Grind, like all of the different guys came out. And then the idea is that like in the future, like they learned a skill, and like we'd love to help them facilitate building more skate parks. And then also just like if they need skateboards, like we'd help them out by getting them skateboards, just so that we were like really spreading the love.
Yeah, it's taking a lot of politics, and it's taken a lot of diplomacy on the ground to get everyone on the same page and involved and excited about the project. And it works so well. And even we got other groups from the region, from Tanzania, from bordering countries, to, we brought them out, and they were also participating in the builds. Now they all want to build their own skate parks as well. So it really has like this rippling effect.
Contagious, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everybody wants skate parks. I mean, I understand it. If you don't have a single skate park in your country, like, of course you want a skate park. It's the basis. Yeah, that's where you meet. Like you're still gonna go street skating, but a skate park is.
It's your space.
Yeah, especially in countries where there is no plaza. There's no, like their street spot is a street. It's literally an asphalt street where a few cars are only passing.
Yeah.
Like they skate there because there is nothing.
That's the spot.
Yeah.
That's the spot. I hope to skate hopefully all of, but if not many of your skate parks that you guys have helped bring to the world. And I look forward to all the new projects you build. And I hope, I don't know. We're looking forward to all that stuff. Do you guys have any final words you want to say before we end this?
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just chatting this morning. So, we're here now speaking about what we're doing. So,
Yeah, thanks for giving us a platform.
Yeah, thanks for thinking of us.
No, that's what we're here for at the Good Morning General Chat podcast. I do have, I think Winged does want to say one final word. Let's see what Winged has to say. Hey, Winged, what do you want to say?
Can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear, buddy.
Oh, okay. I wanted to say, Samantha, that you being a surfer and you doing this, it means a lot because
skateboarding can be so like skateboarding can be really like proud to have Samantha. Like she's a beast, man. She makes it happen. Yeah, and it's I let you speak for yourself.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this gonna carry you along in your relationship. I don't know how long you're married. I'm married too, and
we're not married. We're not married.
Oh,
we're partners in crime.
Yeah, partners in crime.
Oh, I thought y'all was married. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Other partners. Oh, that's okay. No worries. Understandable. Yeah, Arna's great, but no, I have a partner and he has a partner.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so sorry, but still, it is still a beautiful thing that y'all doing, and you being a surfer.
It is great.
You being a surfer, and he being a skater, you still. Because I mean, you can't make surf spots nowhere. I really don't think you can do that.
No, we can't, unfortunately. If we could, I would be here. So.
Yeah.
All right.
So I just like that y'all do it together. That's it. Me and my wife are filmmakers, and I share some of our films with Discord, but they didn't really like our films. But it brings us together. So.
Amazing. Yeah.
He's a master of filmmaking. Maybe you can go and make some films at some of their skate parks and share those with the world, Winged.
Look it up.
Oh wow, that would be nice. I would ask my wife to do that.
All right. Thanks, Winged. All right, Samantha. Make life, skate life. Arno, thanks, guys, so much. And good luck with everything. All right. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks
so much. So nice to meet you. Thanks so much,
right.
Slim.
See you soon.
Bye, guys. Put them in the books.